Okay, Mo's catching up after today's first pre-season friendly, 2-0 defeat against Gloucester City. I guess the question is, what are your thoughts?
I thought we made a good account of ourselves. I thought it was competitive. Some pleasing aspects. I thought they started really well. Their intensity, their sharpness. They've got a good manager. They've got a new manager, and they want to impress. They've got trialists that want to impress. So, we had to be competitive, but they obviously had a good account of themselves. And like the first 20 minutes, I think they put us on the back foot. They won a lot of free kicks, they put balls into the box. So I think we actually defended quite well. We were competitive, and we had moments. So that was the pleasing thing. There was moments for us that I can be pleased with. We are a little bit rusty, I think, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it was a good workout for both teams.
Yeah, so I think both goals came in the first half, didn't they? So, and you made a couple of changes. Do you think the side were improved in the second half, or it's just a case of changing the dynamic of the game?
A little bit of everything. They changed their team quite significantly, so they wouldn't have had that continuity with each other. So they were obviously trying to get into the game, whereas we were 45 minutes into it. So obviously we were getting our second win, and we were at the pace of the game. And then we just brought on the subs second half, from about 60 minutes on, just to get minutes and legs and give people a bit of a rest.
And in terms of the squad, a couple of new faces today. What are we looking at in terms of the shape of the squad?
We're happy with the shape of the squad, but we're still looking to recruit. The problem we've got is it has to be better than what we've got. It's got to fit in with the dynamic of the dressing room. There's no point just getting people in for the sake of it and saying, yeah, we've got a bigger, better, stronger squad. If it doesn't fit and it's not right and they're not better, there's no point bringing people in. We brought Ellis and Harley through from the youth side the last couple of years. We're looking to that market. Corey came through from Northern Senior. We're looking into that market. But if somebody comes available, and I'm sure there will be someone in the next 3 or 4 weeks that we can add to the squad to make us better. We'll look to do that.
Yeah, and I think the starting lineup was very similar to a side that would have been fielded most weeks last season. So I guess the other edge to that is, aside from looking for new sidings, it's good to have some stability.
Yeah, that's the pleasing thing. The pleasing thing is it's probably the first season since I arrived that we haven't had to build or rebuild and add players in. So yeah, the continuity side of it is brilliant for us. But we do need to freshen it up. We do need to add it. We do need that competition. 10th last year and 50 points. If we're going to improve on that, we need some bodies through the door that are going to help us. We're looking, even in the season, there'll be leagues and teams from higher, they'll be letting people go because, they've got loads of people on trial and stuff. And hopefully we've made account of ourselves today and people, have a look and they come along and said, we're not a bad outfit to be involved with.
Yeah, really good crowd today as well. So it was nice to put on a good performance in that context, I guess.
Yeah, pleasing. It is local. So you're hoping for a good crowd, but you never know. But I think most people have got something out of it. A lot of people's first time visits are Tuffley. If Gloucester are away and they fancy popping down again, that'll be brilliant. But just in general, good crowd. It's what we were hoping for. Hopefully that we've made an impression on Gloucester City, and maybe we can do this again at some point.
Yeah, and then just looking ahead, got a week off, I think, now before another game at Glebe Park against Tewkesbury Town next Saturday. But how are you feeling about pre-season in general?
Yeah, I think we're a couple of weeks behind most of the clubs that started, but a lot of those clubs were rebuilding and recruiting, and also we wanted to give ourselves the longest break possible before getting going. We know we were undercooked at Inkbarrow last year, so we've got plenty of work to do over the next 4 weeks. But what I'm looking for next week when we play Tewkesbury is the intensity that Gloucester showed against us for the first 20 minutes to half an hour. If we can impose ourselves that way, get into the game, we'll be another week towards the season starting.
Great stuff. Cheers, Wes.